share with you my 6 key principles for creating experiences that connect. And as I was crafting this presentation, I realized they're also the principles that create successful relationships in life as much as business. So you may well find this talk benefits your personal life as much as your professional life. My principle number 1 is the principle number 1 for designing every successful experience, and that is communication through demonstration. So you've just met me. Imagine that I walked out on this stage and I said to you, "Hi, I'm Cindy Gallop, and I am screamingly, hysterically funny. Trust me, the moment I start telling jokes, you're going to be rolling in the aisles." I reckon you'd be sitting there going, "Well, we'll be the judge of that, thank you very much." Whereas if I walk out on this stage and I tell a joke and you laugh, you think, "Hey, she's pretty funny." That's communication through demonstration. In other words, don't say it, be it, and do it. And when you do that, blue sky it. So when you design your experiences, don't design them with what you think is possible today. Go sci-fi. Project out 5, 10, 15 years into the future. Go magical. Go fantastical. Create the experiences of your dreams because, trust me, the technology exists to make them happen today, especially, by the way, here all around you at the Adobe Symposium. And a very good starting point for blue skying is, what would our consumer love to have happen? What would we love to have happen? So imagine that you'd done this exercise 10 years ago. You know, as a brand marketer, you might have gone, "Well, this sounds really crazy, but, we would love our consumer to be hanging out at home, piddling around, doing whatever, and we'd like them to suddenly think and say out loud to themselves, 'Ooh, I really fancy our product,' and to have it turn up on their doorstep an hour later." 10 years ago, that would have seemed utterly fantastical, but today we have Alexa and Amazon Prime. However you blue sky it, you can make it happen now. And I had an example of this myself, because I do a lot of talking about, reinventing ways of doing business, negotiating, and very flatteringly, a number of people say to me, "Cindy, I love your advice. I really wish that I could have Cindy in my pocket. I wish I could carry you around with me. I wish I could have you on my shoulder, whispering in my ear in business meetings. I'd love a shot of Cindy inspiration every morning when I wake up." And so I found myself thinking, well, that's enormously flattering, but how on earth can I possibly scale myself? Because I'm just me. But last year, the New York-based digital agency RGA, using technology from Reply.ai, did just that. They scaled me because they turned me into a chatbot. They turned me into CindyBot. For equal payday last year, I am a bot that's built on Facebook Messenger. So if you search Ask Cindy Gallop on Facebook, and if you message me from that page, I will talk you through, women, how to negotiate your next pay raise. And by the way, the amount you ask for is always the highest amount you can say out loud without actually bursting out laughing. So they literally crafted Cindy in your pocket. And the reason why it's important to blue sky, to not be bounded by the realms of the possible, is because this represents a far bigger opportunity than even just delivering against your business goals. Because it never fails to amaze me that the giant tech platforms of today have advertising properties that are fundamentally a new world order version of display advertising. The future is not advertising units. The future is advertising products. The future is crafting things of utility and value that surprise and delight consumers in the way they're delivered. Now, for principle number 3, I'm going to give you something really valuable. I'm going to give you the guaranteed formula for business success. Yes, There is a formula, and if you apply it to your business, you'll be successful, guaranteed. It's very simple. It goes like this. If you seek out, hire, retain and manage the very best talent in your marketplace, if you then give that talent a highly compelling and inspirational vision of what you want them to achieve for you and your business, if you then step right back and empower and enable that talent to achieve those goals by any means they see fit, using their own individual skills and talents, if at the same time you demonstrate that talent every day how much you value them, not just in financial terms, but verbally, vocally, regularly, and if you enable that talent to share in the profit that they help create, you'll be successful. It's that simple, and nobody ever does it, because what that formula requires is a high-trust working environment. And every single working environment today, virtually, is low trust. Because the entire nature of the hierarchical corporate structure is predicated on the idea that the person at the top does not trust the people just below them, who in turn do not trust the people just below them, and it's one big cascade of low trust all the way to the bottom like a champagne fountain. To design great experiences, you have to bake trust into your team and into the process, because experiences are not static. They are living, breathing, organic, interactive things. And I'll give you an example of what I mean about the importance of trust. You've just heard from Tourism Australia about the power of the Super Bowl. 5 years ago, in 2013, the Super Bowl was held in New Orleans, and during the Super Bowl, there was a massive power outage, and all the lights went out and everything went dark for 34 minutes. And during that power outage, Oreo cookies instantly tweeted an ad that said, "You can still dunk in the dark," playing on their very well-known, you dunk Oreos in milk to eat them. The reason that happened, the reason that it got like 10,000 retweets within the first hour, many thousands more, was hugely newsworthy, hugely PR'd, and did amazing things for Oreo's business. The reason that ad happened was because for the Super Bowl, Oreo put the key decision makers from the client side and from their agency side, 360i, in a war room for the Super Bowl, and they said to them, "We trust you. You know what the brand stands for. You know what our values are. You know what the brand tone of voice is. Anything topical that happens during the Super Bowl, you get all over that, create something, put it out immediately. You can sign it off yourselves within the war room. We trust you." That is the power of trust when it comes to designing amazing experiences. And when you design with trust, you also need to create experiences that are based on shared values. I believe the business model of the future is shared values plus shared action equals shared profit, financial profit and social profit. In other words, when brands and businesses come together with their audiences, and by the way, your audience can be anybody and everybody, consumers, employees, analysts, whoever it is. But when you come together with your audiences on the basis of values that you all share, which, by the way, is the most important requirement for a good relationship in life as much as business. You will never truly bond with someone if you don't share the same values. And when you're then enabled to collectively and collaboratively co-act on those values, to walk the talk together, you can then make things happen in the real world that will benefit consumers, benefit society, and benefit the brand and its business. And by the way, if you're not sure what your values are, they are not your mission statement. They are about you looking into yourself, and again, this applies as much to you as a person, as you as a brand and a company, and asking yourself, what do I stand for? What do I believe in? What am I all about? And then walking that talk, communication through demonstration. And you've heard also earlier today from Brad Renshaw the importance of what you do with data. Now, obviously, experiences enable you to collect data, and equally, obviously, this is a very sensitive issue today. And that's because not enough people and companies get principle number 5, which is humanize data. Because data is not statistics and numbers, data is people. And what I mean by humanizing data collection is, think about it like this. You know how, as you're going through life, every so often you come across somebody that you like. So you meet someone and you think, oh, I like this person. We could be friends. Or maybe it's a new colleague and you think, wow, I like this person, we could work really well together. Or maybe you meet somebody and you think, actually, I'd like to date this person. I think we'd have a great romantic relationship. And because you like that person, you want to find out more about them. And in order to do that, you begin opening up to them yourself. You begin sharing information about you with that person to encourage them to share information about themselves with you. And as you open up more and more, they see the benefit to them of doing that. They open up more and more to you. You begin building an atmosphere of mutual trust, respect, liking, affection, until the point that you've brought that person to is where, because they can see the benefit to them, they are thinking, I want you to know me. That is how brands and businesses should be humanizing the collection of data. You want people to share data with you, open up to them. Open yourself up, share yourself, share and be transparent about the benefit to them. Build that relationship of mutual trust, respect, liking, until your consumer's at the point where they say, I want you to know me, because they see the benefit to them of enabling you to do that. And principle number 6, my final principle, I've talked to you about the need to humanize data. Principle number 6 is humanize, period. At the moment, diversity is a buzzword in every single industry, quite rightly. I'm not a fan of the word diversity. And the reason is, it's not about diversity. It's about humanity. When we talk about the need for diversity, all we're talking about is the need to reflect the world as it really is. And that's what great successful experiences do. If you want to change the world through digital experiences, your experiences have to reflect the world as it really is. And what that means is your team, the people who collectively are designing, building, and executing those experiences, your team has to reflect the world as it really is. It is absolutely crucial that you design, create, implement through a diverse lens, because the absolute foundation stone of every single experience that connects, that bonds, that builds a successful relationship is empathy. And you cannot be empathetic unless you are reflecting the world as it really is. And your team within itself reflects the world as it really is, so that what you are doing is creating empathetic, fundamentally connective experiences. So those are my 6 key principles. I've cranked through this very, very quickly because 50 minutes is not a long time. Every single one of those principles is an entire presentation itself. But I'm going to be here for the next couple of days. If anyone would like to talk more about any of these, please just email Cindy@ifwerantheworld.com. Thank you very much.